Update on the garden. There's the tomato plants that we had. Last time y'all saw them, they were little bitty plants. This is a little over a week, about a week and 2 days, I think. Some of the lettuce there, my wife's been picking off of it. It's just about, I mean, it's running its course. We can still get a decent amount off of it. And my okra there, that's the first row. And then there's bush beans, and the next row is bush beans. And then there's some, I think it was zucchini behind that, or either a yellow squash. I can't tell from here. Here's our cabbage that we got going. It's getting pretty big. There's some, well, there's my foot compared to it. My wife came back and added some more in between these as we've been going, and we put some of them in here. The peppers just didn't make it in here. We had to take them out. But the tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're probably close to 18 inches in height. These are some of the, actually on that end there done a little better than this end here has so far, but it may just be the variety of tomatoes. But you can see there, I don't know, like I say, probably 18 inches tall. Some of these are maybe a little taller. But I took the Chinese cabbage up. We finished it up. Got what we could get off of it. We actually let it go a little too long, I think. But there's some sweet potatoes I planted. There's one. There's a little tiny one. Yeah, right in there. Somewhere right in there. I got another plant right there. And there. On up through there, 3 or 4 more. And then we have some squash right in here. With this. And that's my radio. It goes off if a deer comes up here. Some squash right in here, and like I say, on up through there, there's tons of squash. The potatoes have gotten so big, they're starting to, we had a bunch of wind the other day and it kind of knocked them down. I'll go up there in a minute and show you down in between the rows how they're touching. Here's the tomato plants. They turn white, and then all of a sudden they'll just take off, same as they did in the grow bags. It must be the soil. It's a little acidy, but the tomatoes like acid soil, so they'll come. The cucumbers did the same thing. If you see down toward the bottom of the leaves, there's a few white ones. But once they get in it and start growing, they go crazy. So, but the cucumbers there, probably a foot tall. Got some tomatoes on the other side, some peppers. These 2 peppers here were the ones that she had in the grow bag, and that one there. And she had to take them out of the grow bag and bring them over here and set them out. Just wasn't doing it, just wasn't getting there in the grow bags. So, yeah, the tomatoes will pop back out, you know, here in the next week or so. They'll get back out and get going again. You can hear my goats, they're hollering, they're ready to eat. Walk up here and I'll show you the potatoes and then the onions. There's what happened to the potatoes. You can see they're kind of knocked over where the wind came along, but that's what they look like. I don't know, there was probably 2 foot in between the humps there when I did it. Well, it's the same distance as they were over there on those. And these potatoes is actually, the tops have grown so big and they're already blooming, so we should have some potatoes. We'll just let them go and keep growing. When they start turning yellow, then I'll cut the tops and start digging them up. But I planted a few potatoes over here where I had to fill in between those other ones. I had a few extra ones left, so I threw them right there. And they're coming up good. The onions, I need to get in here and weed it and get all the grass out. We got a tomato plant in there. But let's see. Here's one of the bulbs. Right there. And there's my hand beside it. It's getting, I don't know, it's probably the size of it's bigger than a golf ball, but not as big as a baseball yet. So, and then you can see one over there. But the plants, I mean, they're just getting huge, and they're kind of starting to lay down now. I guess that wind might have kind of helped blow them around. But I've got to get in there and do all the grass weeding out of them. And then my wife's herbs, they're doing good. Some of them's got so big, this one here's fell over. There's another one up underneath it. I don't know if that one's going to make it. Need to get that one stood up and get a stick stuck in there. But there's an update on it. I was going to put my sweet potatoes behind those potatoes, but that's my dirt. I think I'm going to just go ahead and churn that up, and I'll use that next year for my topsoil. I've got to get that little bit of dirt here moved over here, and take the rototiller and go through it, and then I'll move that whole big mess of that right over there into where this dirt is, and I'll start rototilling it out over there. So this will be next year's dirt, and that'll be the year after. So, but yeah, we're moving along. The grapes are starting to form decent little grapes. You can probably see them there. We'll just walk down here and I'll show you the blueberries. I was having problems with the rabbits coming in and eating the, God, I wish I could hold this camera steady, but I had them coming in, they were eating all the leaves off of the plants. This one here was just about bare. So my son had this fence and I got it from him and put it up. And that's keeping them out. Here's my fuzzless peaches. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. There we go. And then this is the regular peaches. They're getting pretty decently big. But I've got that scarecrow sitting there. I've got it turned off right now. We were up here looking around. But I'll turn that back on here in a minute. The trees move a little bit. It goes off pretty often, but for a little bit of water, I'm not worried about it. It keeps the deer out of here, because I've got it aimed right at these trees. And usually when they come out right between there. So it nails them right away. Alright, well, it's a little update. And like I say, I was talking about how big the potatoes had gotten, and you can see right here on this end they've not grown together as much. But right out there, it's just like a big giant mess of potato tops. So hopefully we're starting to form some potatoes on bottom, and we ain't just getting all foliage. I hadn't put any fertilizer on these since the last, well, it's been probably a week and a half when I put the Miracle Grow in here the one time. So I'm going to stop feeding these with fertilizer. I'll probably go in here and crimp this line when I put the Miracle Grow. It'll just be on this part here. We'll just leave those to grow like they are. Alright, well, y'all can see how big those other cabbages are down there. And I'll get back with you here in about another week or so, and hopefully we'll have okra up about 18 inches tall. I'm going to go in there and thin it out. Probably going to make it about every 2 foot. Thin it out down to every 2 foot. I just didn't want to thin it too fast in case we had cold weather and died out on me. I could, maybe a few of them would last. Alright, there's an update, and anything else, about another week I'll do another video. Alright, y'all have a good one.